well so far today.
I think that for anybody, young player, veteran player, sometimes it's nice to have those guidelines that you want to work within. I used to always draw a line from the ball of my foot down to my landing, and I'd basically make an X, so I knew that if I was on line or not on line.
Had to drive you crazy, too, if you had a pitcher in opposition whose landing spot was a couple of inches away from yours. And that landing spot created a hole that didn't match up.
You roll into there.
Yeah. Well, no such trouble for Sonny Gray. A 3-up, 3-down, 6th inning. He's pitching a beauty today at home. Cardinals need it. They also need a little more offense. They enjoy a 1-run lead.
At Domino's, we've heard in focus groups that some people don't love our classic crust.
Too doughy.
It's not thin enough.
So here's another pizza.
All the ingredients come together.
And so what if I told you this was Domino's?
Just a Domino's, for real. Introducing Domino's New York Style Pizza. Try it tonight.
Get an 11% rebate on everything for your next project at Menards. Enjoy a good night's sleep for less with a new Serta mattress. Shop today and save big. The better the mattress, the better the savings. All Serta mattresses are on sale. Plus, get an 11% rebate. Transform your space with Liquid Defense laminate flooring. It's water resistant, making it a great choice for an active household. Only $149 a square foot after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Royal Banks of Missouri is your local commercial banking partner. From treasury management to asset-based lending, our team will ensure your business's success. Royal Banks of Missouri, investing in our communities one business at a time.
Build-A-Bear Workshop Day is Sunday, September 8th. 10,000 kids 15 and under entering with a ticket. Take home their own stadium-exclusive Build-A-Bear Workshop Cardinals Bear. For details or tickets, go to cardinals.com/promotions. There's John Lawrence. Great work, as always, here at Busch Stadium. He, too, getting ready for Blues season. See John's cap? Getting ready for the note. They start their exhibition schedule here in the next couple of weeks, and all of us at Valley Sports are really excited about getting going with the Blues here in the next few weeks.
Yeah, going to be here before you know it, right?
Victor Scott has doubled today. Tried to bunt again. This one popped up, and no play. It's 0-2.
Yeah, Vic tried to bring it with him this time. Last time, dropped the bunt down to that left side. Manny Machado made a really nice play on him, got it by a step.
I really admire the adjustments this young man has made since he went down to Memphis, right? It was said that if the Cardinals could have switched the games offensively of Jordan Walker and Victor Scott, they would have had two ideal players.
Yeah.
Point being, Jordan on the ground a little too much, Victor in the air too much. I think we've seen evidence that that's changed. Much more of a line drive approach and results for the Cardinals center fielder.
For sure. And then you make a mistake on the inner half. We've seen it here in this ball game. A sweeper from Michael King that he drove out in the gap for a double. He's got a pair of home runs on the season. He's got some power. You just don't want to fall into that. You want to have that line drive stroke. All that work that he put in, that timing, that lower half, really has paid off for him.
And it looks better, even a swing like that, right? He's on time. He just got under it. It looks much more fluid. He called it a dance in his box.
Yeah, fluid is a great way to put it. He looks very comfortable.
Yeah,
he does. And before early on, it looked like it was segmented, if you will, like a very upper body oriented. That lower half didn't get involved as much.
So he's made growth strides for the Redbirds. Out of play foul. 1-2. And that segmented approach, I assume that's something as a pitcher you can see, and you would probably lick your chops to try to exploit.
Well, it's one where there wasn't a fear factor, right? You can go just attack. What's he going to do? He's going to slap the ball. Like, now you got to make sure that you make a pitch because he can drive a baseball.
Matsui kicks and delivers, and a good pitch. A split finger takes care of Scott. There is out number one.
Chevy pitch track here for Matsui. Bottom drops out, gets the swing and miss. What a job Matsui did last inning. Bases loaded, got the pop-up to Newbar, pop-up on the first pitch to Herrera to get out of the jam.
We've seen the growth of the split finger pitch again. And look, baseball's cyclical. Bruce Sutter wrote that pitch to the Hall of Fame. with the Cubs, Cards, and Braves. You don't see a lot of left-handers throw that pitch. Matsui does with San Diego. Shota Imanaga does with the Cubs.
Been really good for both of them, too.
Mason Wynn. He is 1 for 3. More good work from the top 2 hitters on the Cardinals lineup card today. Burleson and Wynn each with a hit. Alex scored a run. Arenado scored the other one for the Cardinals. 2-1 game. We've out-hit them 6-3. Swing and a drive. That baby's not coming back. Mason Wynn gulps one into the left field stands. There's some insurance. It's 3-1.
Well, the Cardinals might not have gotten the big hit with the bases loaded in the 5th inning, but that is a big swing of the bat by the rookie Mason Wynn, doing it again. 12th home run of the season for Mason, a 382-foot shot out to left. Your Budweiser play of the game, Jim. This swing of the bat, a little insurance to make it 3-1.
7th home run since late July from Mason Wynn. And that, I think, is what's going to make him a terror for opposing pitchers. His ability to hit the ball the other way, his ability to hit with 2 strikes. You try to sneak something low and into this guy, he is wiry and strong enough to hit it a long way to the pull side. And he's still learning his offensive game.
Well, what you appreciate, too, and especially after the learning curve last year, he has an approach. You can tell what he's trying to do in different situations. He'll take advantage of, to your point, those pitches on the inner half, and he'll get a little bit bigger with his swing, but then he shortens up in 2-strike counts.
Burleson down the line, just foul. So with a 3-1 lead, Dusty Blake and Sonny Gray talking things over. The Cardinals bullpen is busy with Ryan Fernandez.
Well, the Padres have coming up, it's Machado, right-handed Donovan Solano, and then the lefty Jackson Merrill. It makes sense to have the right-hander up with Machado and Solano off the top.
0-2 pitch is rolled towards second. And Cronenworth has that. He took a little time to make the play, but got his man for out number 2. If Sonny Gray is done, 6 innings of 1-run, 3-hit baseball. Nice rebound game for him. Something he and the team needed. He's trying to keep momentum for St. Louis. Cardinals a chance to win back-to-back games here.
Yeah, he did a good job of executing in this one. This is one where he didn't strike out the world. 4 strikeouts. You don't have to. Just keep him off the barrel.
4 strikeouts. More importantly, no walks for Gray. Arenado up. He's reached on an error and scored the second of the Cardinals' 3 runs. Again, Nolan looking for hit number 1,800. When he gets there, he'll be the 6th active player in the big leagues to achieve that. This one rolled toward third. Machado looked that one into the glove and throws a strike to retire the side. Mason Wynn, another multi-hit game for the Cardinals. His 41st of the year. He crushes this baby into the seats in left, and that extends the Cardinals' lead to 3-1 as we head to the top of the 7th.
Watch me. Watch me skate out to conquer the ice. A band of sisters on blades for the stars and stripes. Sitting down for the battle doesn't limit my game. Fueled by the hope of Olympic flames. Stick work and speed to put shots on goal. Born from medical breakthroughs helping me stay in control.
Watch me.
World-renowned care for pediatric prosthetics at Shriners Children's. The most amazing care anywhere.
Personal service isn't just a slogan at Lindell Bank.
Lindell Bank is here when you need us with quick access to local decision makers ready to help you in person at 15 locations all over St. Louis.
Working in St. Louis and for St. Louis for over 100 years.
Lindell Bank has new, improved online banking with mobile remote deposit and online bill pay.
And Lindell Bank's heart is always with St. Louis small business.
One of the most competitive small business checking accounts available with 300 free items a month.
Welcome to Lindell Bank.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. He asked all his therapists to help him undertake some of the house chores. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey.
6 strong innings for Sonny Gray. He leaves with a 2-run lead. And now, Brad, the Cardinals turn things over to Ryan Fernandez. He's the first man to answer our Chevy call to the bullpen.
Big game number 50 here for Ryan Fernandez. We haven't seen him yet in this series. Last pitch against Minnesota, a scoreless inning with a strikeout for him. We've seen the bottom of the zone has been pretty open for Ramon De Jesus behind the plate. He's been pretty consistent, a place where Fernandez would love to stay.
Very efficient game for Sonny Gray. 90 pitches, Brad, 63 strikes. 7 misses on 43 swings for the Padres, who tallied just 3 hits against him. And if this score holds, Gray will go to 3-0 in his career against the Padres. His ERA will dwindle from 1.64 to a lot lower than that.
Well, and you hit the nail on the head too, Chip, with the no walks, right?
Yeah.
Didn't allow any free passes, had that one solo shot, a leadoff 5th inning home run by Jackson Merrill. Other than that, we're able to keep the Padres off the board.
On a 3-1 count, Machado upset. He rolls to short. And a good comeback for Fernandez. There's your first out. 7 straight Padres have been retired after the Jackson Merrill 5th inning homer. Solano, the happiest Padre that Sonny Gray's out of the game. Sonny struck him out twice. He's had a couple of swings like that today, as Mr. Solano.
Just in between, right? Looking for something, get something different. Really good sequence right there. 95 away, then 87 in that same location with the slider. Had him way out in front. Donovan Solano, long time ago, signed by the Cardinals originally out of Columbia. Back in 2005 it was. And about 8 years later, made his debut with the Marlins.
Two count. It's high. Ball 3. Don't want to walk him. Not ahead of Jackson Merrill, who's gone deep today. It's a 3-1 game. Swing and a miss. Nice comeback. Fernandez pitching behind to the first 2 hitters, gets a ground out and strikeout. And here are the metrics on Jackson Merrill's 5th hit of the series, a home run to center.
Yeah, first pitch sweeper from Sonny Gray. He sat back, saw it well. That was a pretty swing, as you mentioned at the time. 107.9 off the bat there of Kelly. A blimp view of that thing. What a year it's been for the rookie. 20 home runs, hitting for average, hitting for power, doing a lot of damage. The best hitter on their team in the second half.
He was in between on that swing.
Most home runs, rookies all time. Hunter Renfroe leads away with 26. Still got a chance to catch that here in the final month plus.
And if he is the rookie of the year, Butch Metzger and Benito Santiago, the only other Padres rookie of the year winners. 1 ball, 2 strikes. With 2 outs, Fernandez turns it loose. That's headed off to our left. That's the shaded portion of the ballpark. And on the rebound, fans will hunt for that souvenir, and a youngster comes away with it wearing an Arenado shirt.
Nolan's always in the right place, right time.
It's amazing. 2-2. Oh, full count. Another former Cardinal, David Peralta, waits on deck. Merrill, full count, and 2 outs. That's down the line, and that's in foul territory. He missed a double by a couple of inches.
Yeah, certainly from our vantage point, that was a close one down the line. Was beat on a 4-seam here. This could not have been fouled by much.
Woo. That's a hit in New York.
Wow, good call on that. At least it's not a no-hitter right now. Cool. With air quotes.
He lost in ball 4. And Merrill's aboard for the second time. And now you've got to worry about Peralta. 1 swing could tie the game. Action's begun in the Cardinals bullpen. It looks like John King starting to play catch. Nope, take that back. It's Matthew Liberatore who's begun to play catch again. Runner at first, 2 outs. Ryan's been pitching behind in this inning. Let's see if he can finish a pitch and the inning. That's a little better. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Plaza Tire Service pitch track 94 on the corner. That time the 4-seam riding up there.
Fouled away. And again, he's a strike away from sending us to the stretch. And Fernandez trying to complete his 56th inning in the major leagues. Last year, he pitched in 54 innings in the Red Sox organization. So this is uncharted territory for him. Pitch high, and no chance for Herrera, who dropped the baseball. So Merrill steals a base. That's a big play in the game. A hit could bring the Padres closer here, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, he had a big jump anyhow. I think even if you catch this one clean behind the plate, it's going to be tough. That's the 16th stolen base of the season for Jackson Merrill.
The 2-2. Don't throw it there. Long foul ball. Will try again. Knock on wood, the Padres have cooled off with runners in scoring position. They're 0 for their last 13 in this series.
I think you showed him in with that slider now, too. Make Peralta beat you the other direction.
So now Peralta will see a full count pitch. Fernandez facing his fourth batter. He's thrown 24 pitches so far. That rattle of the cage of Herrera says he's all right.
Yeah, this one caught him very clean behind the plate. Broke his mask, actually. So you look at this replay, Chip. That's some impact. Ooh.
So he gets the Velcro readjusted. No springs on that mask for Mr. Herrera. And we'll try again with Merrill at second. 3-1 Cardinals. Top of the seventh. Pitch number 8 to the at-bat is fouled back again.
I feel like if you could throw that same fastball and just be down in the zone away from him, you get him to swing over the top of it. If I'm Fernandez, though, I'm sticking with my heat here. Now you got first base open, but I think you can beat him with that fastball.
Didn't stick. Peralta not going quietly here.
Now, if he stays that way, too, Arenado going to have to be on his toes over at third base. Might shoot something his way.
Here's pitch number 10. And he lost him. So back-to-back walks with 2 outs. And now the stress level rises for the Cardinals, but you've got righty-righty here with Higashioka coming up.
Well, Higashioka with the big swing of the bat last night. That was against the lefty Jojo Romero, the solo shot as Dusty Blake heads out to talk it over with Ryan Fernandez, see how they want to attack here.
So the Cardinals protecting a 3-1 lead. San Diego with a threat here with 2 outs thanks to 2 bases on balls while Fernandez strategizes with Dusty Blake. Let's step aside for a word from our friends at St. Louis Children's Hospital.
St. Louis Children's Hospital, the only place where Washington University physicians have gathered from across the globe, discovering and developing life-changing treatments for kids.
So the meeting breaks up. Pitch number 30 is coming up for the San Diego catcher. I'd be careful on the first pitch with this guy. 16 homers for Mr. Higashioka. Higashioka in 2018 homered for his first major league hit. That was with the Yankees. And he drives this one a long way down the line in left, in the corner, and up against the wall. Catch made by Alec Burleson. Had him all the way. Burleson covers a lot of ground, catches that ball up near the fence, and the Padres strand 2 in the 7th inning, and the Redbirds preserve a 3-1 lead at the stretch.
Orbit. Chew? Good. It's only paint.
It's only paint that comes in an award-winning twist and pour container. It's only paint that can cover the brightest shade of orange known to mankind in just one coat. It's only paint that will inspire you to write your masterpiece. It's only paint that will help you become TV's hottest writer, where one day you'll meet this guy who starred in that thing. So yeah, it's only paint. Only easy opening, smooth pouring, change your life both professionally and romantically. Paint.
This bakery needs new equipment fast to keep up with demand. So they're going to On Deck, the online lender that makes it easy to choose your loan and if approved, get funds as soon as the same day. Your loan is on deck.
Lucan Baker is ready to lead off the home seventh for the Cardinals. He starts our Honda home run inning. If Lucan and company can go deep, your Gateway Honda dealers will donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Cardinals have a home run today. That came from Mason Wynn. Jackson Merrill has hit a home run for the Padres.
Brian Hoeing is your Chevy call to the bullpen. 27th game of the season for the right-hander. We saw him on Tuesday in the ball game. He allowed a home run to Paul Goldschmidt.
Three-1 Cardinals. Lucan Baker gets things started and drives one into shallow center. Cronenworth says he's got it, and he does. Baker retired for out number one. Brendan Donovan a double, more of the same for him against the Padres. He entered play today with a .378 lifetime average against San Diego. He surpassed his career high in games played this year. Last year, of course, an injury-shortened season, had the internal brace surgery performed on the elbow ligament. It's given him no troubles this year, and he's doing what he always does. Solid, steady, great defense. Handles lefty pitchers well. Nice comeback year for Brendan Donovan.
It really has been. I just like you, I love the way that he goes about it. I love the work ethic. I love the leadership ability. I love the fact that he's the same guy every day when he comes to the ballpark. You know how hard that is throughout a major league season to be consistent. That's exactly what this man is.
Two balls, one strike from Hoeing to Donovan. Out of play, foul. It's 2-2. Arizona's taken a 2-1 lead over the Mets. That game's in the fourth inning. That one has wild card implications as well. The Cardinals are 3 games behind New York. Fly ball center. Merrill retreats. And 2 men are out in the home seventh. Remember, Merrill had never played center field as a professional player. Wouldn't know that, would you?
No, shortstop, right, is what he was drafted as, what he came up as in the minor leagues. But they had a need elsewhere. Figured we'll plug him in, see how he does. Young man took to it very well, and he's just getting better and better. He's got great instincts. Just good athlete, gets good jumps, has speed, good glove.
Well, if Paul Goldschmidt can't homer today, maybe he'll hit one in New York. As we said earlier, next home run will tie him with Yankees legend Joe DiMaggio on the all-time home run list in the major leagues. Wouldn't that be something to do that in the Bronx? Joe didn't play in the current ballpark, but still history right across the street.
Plaza Tire Service pitch track right here. Paul Goldschmidt going to be pretty tough to be able to get to that sinker away. And Hoeing followed it up with a splitter, 0-2 the count.
Padres really were active at the deadline, especially in the bullpen department. They really improved that relief corps for Mike Schultz. See how far it carries them. They're trying to catch Arizona and the Dodgers in the West as well. And that one tomahawked out to second. Hard hit ball, but Goldschmidt and the Cardinals are retired in order in the home seventh. We head to the eighth. Thank you for joining us from St. Louis, where the Cardinals lead 3-1.
I work with HomeLight to get the best deals for my clients. Whether you're looking to sell for the right price or hunting for that dream home, let's make your real estate experience smooth and rewarding. Start your journey at homelight.com today.
No matter what you drive, car, light truck, van, SUV, hybrid, EV, you drive it, we service it. We're Dobbs. All makes, all models, all the time.
Back to school tire deals are yours now at gotodobbs.com.
Quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
This is the famous footwear that makes us actually want to go back to school. With the newest styles from all your favorite brands like Nike, Adidas, Crocs, Converse, New Balance, Birkenstock, and more. You'll find everything kids want, all at prices parents can appreciate. Because you don't have to overspend to make it famous. Famous Footwear even has fit experts in store to make sure you get the right size every time. So for the perfect fit, make it famous. Plus, right now, buy one, get one half off when you shop your local Famous Footwear or famous.com. Some exclusions apply.
Hi, this is Johnny Rabbit. Isn't cash in the bank better than scrap in the drawer? Midwest Money Company is buying your valuables. Midwest Money Company is buying gold, silver, coins, currency, diamonds, plus gold and silver jewelry. Call Midwest Money Company, 481-0770. That's 481-0770. Or stop by Midwest Money, 5900 Hampton for a free appraisal.
Scott, I have a new word, floornancing.
What are you saying, flooring or financing?
Actually, both, because at Best Buy Flooring, we have the largest selection of carpet, carpet tile, luxury vinyl plank, luxury vinyl tile, ceramic tile, laminate, and hardwood.
Yes, and free financing for qualified buyers.
3 convenient locations, North County, South County, and O'Fallon, Illinois.
Open 7 days a week, including at South County. Best flooring, best selection, Best Buy Flooring.
Navien tankless water heaters, the proven leader in condensing technology. Request a Navien because you deserve the best in endless hot water delivery. Learn about Navien's condensing tankless water heaters and find a Navien contractor at tanklessmadesimple.com.
Feel like everything's clouded by doubt? Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com. Our psychics are available to talk 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Bernie Nicholas gets the final word during Sports on a Sunday morning. This Sunday at 11:45 on KMOX. The Y98 St. Louis City Soccer Report continues on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
Is Moreno off the corner. He centers. They get a shot. It's blocked at the last second by Horn. Another one, and Giannis steps in front. Oh, 2 on the doorstep. Giannis Horn bails us out in his team debut twice.
Yeah, that was Giannis Horn. As you could hear, double shot block as he came into the game. He actually subbed in later in the game, kind of made his MLS debut. He subbed in. I'm looking at here at the minute that he came in. Late was a 69th minute, came in for Jay Reed at the left back, got some action right away, got some action later, really saving not only Roman Berkey, but Giannis Horn saving what we had as a tie. That was 90 plus 12 minutes of added time in that. That's something else we can ask George Gansner and the laws of the game next. But Tom Timmerman and I got a chance to, with the Post-Dispatch, got a chance to talk to Giannis after practice yesterday, and he told us a little bit about how he was settling in.
It's good. Everything is new for me. First time in a new country with my family. The facility is perfect. The stadium is perfect. We love the city. Some good restaurants. We found an apartment. Everything is good at the moment.
And it's a hot day today. Yeah. I myself have visited Germany 3 times, and only one time was it hot there. It was in 2015. Germany was in a heat wave, and it was frustrating because nobody has air conditioners there.
Yeah, no, it's not like this. For us, it's different because here it's so hot, and when you go inside, it's so cold. So weird for us, for my family. First week, my wife got a little bit sick of it because it's new for us, the AC and everything. Told my wife I never expect like this because 37 degrees yesterday in German. I don't know
It was like 102.
Yeah,
really
like this.
hot,
Yeah, you understand. it was so hot. But today is a little bit better, so LA has to play with this weather as well, so it's okay.
When you were young,
Yes.
I know soccer, football is a big thing for most of the youth to play in Germany. But how did you get started? Did you follow a brother? A lot of guys here who played followed a big brother.
For me, my father played football, my whole family, my brother played football, my father was my first coach. Since I'm 4, I started playing soccer, small club in Braunschweig, it's next to Hanover. And yeah, that was the reason I always loved football. I love to play with my friends. And in the youth, under 15, I was playing on the 6. So yeah, like on the 6 or left back to play in the MLS. Since the last years, it was a dream to play here because many more players from Europe comes to America because the league is getting bigger and bigger, the team's getting better and better, and yeah, it's so nice.
How big a thing was it? Did you thought about MLS for a long time, or?
Yeah, it was like the last 2-3 years. I was speaking with my wife, and she was like, "Yeah, maybe we want to go to America because, yeah, also for my son, he's turning 2 in October. So for him, it's also good to learn the language and everything, to see something different because our whole life we lived in Germany. So yeah, it's a big adventure, and in this league, in this stadium, in this city, I think it will be good."
I mean, when Lutz first contacts you, was there any where you're like, okay, here I go, I'm on the.
Yes, it was like this because when an offer comes from a good club in the MLS, maybe you want to think about it. And then Lutz told my agent and was like, yeah, there are a lot of Germans to make it easy for us at the beginning. It's also important. And yeah, I think we made the right decision because now everything is good.
Did you know any of these guys on this team before?
Yeah, the German guys like Edu, Sedi, Cello, Roman a little bit, Tomasz, I play with him in Cologne, Joachim a little bit from the Bundesliga. So a lot of guys.
How long have you been here now? Like, have you been here not a month?
Yeah, 3 weeks.
It happens fast.
Yeah.
And you find out how big America is when you fly out to play games in Portland.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And you don't change time zones, I don't think either, right?
That's also a difference because in Germany, the longest flight is like 1 hour from Munich to Hamburg.
This has got to be eye-opening.
Yeah.
It's a different world.
So in Germany, everything is different. Like the streets, it's so much bigger. The parking spots everywhere, so much bigger. In Germany, is so close. So everything is different, but I like it, really.
Your little one, you mentioned you have a little one. It's 2. Yeah. Is he kicking at a ball yet? Looking what daddy does?
He's not left foot like me, but he's right foot. But yeah, he wants to play football all the time. And now he start to speak some words. It's so nice. Today they will go back to Germany to do some stuff in Germany, like with my old house and stuff like this. But in some weeks they will come back to St. Louis. And yeah, I can't wait to see them.
For a couple of games now, I would peek on the TV screen and see you sitting on the bench with City. You weren't playing just yet for the team. Had some time to assess the team before playing with them. What were you thinking going in, looking at a team that had a remarkable year last year, crazy good year, and is honestly struggling this season, had a ton of injuries? What's your assessment before you hit the pitch with them this last game?
I heard they were in first position the whole year and then they lost against Kansas. And yeah, it's crazy because I see the team in training and we are better than Portland in my opinion. And yeah, I hope that we can show this on Sunday. LA is a very good team, of course, but we can win and we train hard. We're not afraid of LA or anything like this. I know this season is not our best season at the moment, but we can still reach the playoffs and that's our goal.
What was it like for you to get in the game on Saturday?
It was different for me because I never played on turf. For me, the first half was good because we are 3-1 in front, and then the second half we stand so deep and they shot so many times on our goal, and yeah, we want to change this. We want to defend better, and that's why I'm here. I want to help the team with my experience from the German league, bring in my left foot with some crosses, make some assists, and yeah, help the team with my mentality as well.
Took you 20 minutes to get a yellow card?
Yeah. That's okay. I think last year I got also like 9 yellow cards, so that's my type of playing. Yeah, I want to be aggressive. I want to be present.
I read in an article that one of the things they highlighted about you was your passing accuracy. Yes. It reminds me of Joachim Nilsson, who also talked about liking to be sure he can distribute from the back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, last year I played center back in Germany, but the years before I always play as a left back. Yeah, I like to open the game from behind, do a lot of crosses. I like to play more on the left side because then I think I'm fast and I can go straight the line, run a lot, make some crosses, and I think my biggest strength is my left foot. So I hope you will see it on Sunday.
So what's been adapting to American soccer, to MLS, from playing in the Bundesliga, from playing in Germany?
It's a lot more physical, a lot of more strength, do some weights and everything. That's more here in America than in Germany. But at the end, it's soccer, you know. So it's the same. The quality is good in our team.
What do you like to do off the field when you're not playing?
Yeah, going to the forest park with my son, with my wife, in good restaurants with my family. We love to have some good food. Normally we go a lot of times to cinema, but here is difficult for us because it's only in English, but maybe we want to go to cinema someday.
Has it helped having so many Germans on this team?
Yeah, it's good because Marcel and Sadie, they also have kids, so it's perfect. We are like a big group. The American guys are so good to me. The team, they made it so easy for me to come in. We were at Joachim's house. He made some good pasta for us. So yeah, everything is good.
He's almost German.
Yeah, he's almost German, but he also has kids and everything's good at the moment.
Well, that's important too, because we know about people who come over, but their families feel lonely. They're by themselves. And it doesn't sound like that is the case. That that's really important for you to know that you can perform here and your family's being taken care of and being welcomed at home.
Yes, 100%. Because I'm a family man. At the moment, they are very happy because, yeah, it's good with everything here. So, yeah.
That was new St. Louis City defender Giannis Horn. Look forward to seeing if he gets into the LA Galaxy game on Sunday. More to come. We've got laws of the game to review with George Gansner. That's next on KMOX.
Reason number 52 to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler. Only Diamonds Direct gives you a 110% diamond upgrade guarantee. Let us explain. If you buy a diamond at Diamonds Direct today and decide in the future you want to upgrade to a larger diamond, Diamonds Direct will give you 110% of your original purchase price toward the new stone. For example, let's say you bought her a $5,000 diamond last year, but now she wants to upgrade to a $6,000 diamond. Diamonds Direct will give you $5,500 toward the new one. That's 10% more than you paid the first time. Guaranteed appreciation. Whether that first diamond was $3,000 or $30,000, you get 10% more. Who else does this? And unlike other stores who claim to offer diamond upgrades, at Diamonds Direct, there's no fine print and no minimum purchase requirement. It's 10% more, period. Come and discover real value and buy with confidence. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Saturdays are made for soccer.
Parker elevated now ahead! And it's in! City lead!
Catch St. Louis City SC soccer anywhere you go on the Odyssey app.
Oh, Roman Berkey! A huge save! Oh, Roman Berkey!
Saturdays are made for soccer. Brought to you by Together Credit Union. Together Credit Union, the exclusive banking partner of City SC and Academy of the Sacred Heart. Independent Sacred Heart education since 1818.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
Life can throw curveballs our way, just like the sudden car accident that put me in a coma 30 years ago, long before I became the Cardinal Cowboy. And just like recovering from bumps in the road, we all need reliable help when things go wrong. At Renner Garage, they understand unexpected setbacks. Whether it's a repair, a new door, or a LiftMaster opener, Renner has the team of trusted experts who know how to lift you up and get you back on track. You know the name, RENNER, forward and back, RennerDoorSTL.com. Giddy up.
Are you tired of those unwanted, stubborn areas of fat? Do you want to lose up to 2 inches of that fat quickly and safely? Hi, this is Dr. Michael Glickert at St. Louis Weight Loss Secret, and we offer the latest breakthrough treatment in fat reduction without surgery through our incredible Lumara body contouring program that gently melts fat naturally, eliminating it from your body. If you want to lose inches on your thighs, arms, waist, stomach, or back, take advantage of our limited time offer of just $69 for your first treatment, which is valued at $300. You heard that right, just $69 for your first treatment. Visit us online at moweightloss.com.
Hey, this is Debbie Monterey, and I admit I was skeptical about body contouring at St. Louis Weight Loss Secret, but I figured, what do I have to lose except apparently inches, because they already helped me lose 40 pounds. And then they took before and after pictures while I was doing body contouring. I did 8 treatments and you could totally see the difference. So take advantage of this limited time offer, just $69 for your first body contouring treatment, regularly $300, by calling 314-207-8600 or online at moweightloss.com.
At Odyssey, we believe in casting a wide net to create a diverse and inclusive workforce, as we value the power of community and encourage local organizations to help us in referring qualified applicants to our stations. If you're a community organization interested in receiving our vacancy information, simply email equalemployment@odyssey.com. You'll be directly notified of our open positions. Again, that's equal employment at Odyssey.com. And for our listeners, we invite you to visit OdysseyInc.com/careers. There, you'll find an online listing of job openings at all Odyssey radio stations.
A happy place comes in many colors. One that leaves you feeling refreshed. Something that gets you all fired up. Or gives you the space to chill. Whatever your color, bring happiness home with CertaPro Painters and make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Get started today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Hello, this is Chad Clayman with ClaymanGroup.com, KLAMEN Group.com, where we buy houses direct and as is condition. Did you just inherit a house and you're not sure what to do with it? Maybe it's got a lot of stuff in there and you're really not sure what to do with the stuff and how to sell the house. Well, we do a lot of work with people that inherited property. We're very familiar with the probate courts. So if you have a house you just inherited, please reach out today. We'd love to make you an offer and simplify your real estate situation. KLAMEN Group.com.
I'm Tom Ackerman. This is KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Now, laws of the game.
Jennifer Siess back with you here on the St. Louis City Soccer Report, joined now by George Gansner, former FIFA and MLS referee. George, welcome back to the show. It's been a little bit, and there's a lot of bit to talk about. The first one I'd like to ask you about is the call from Portland, 90+3 red card on Felipe Mora. Portland Timbers players shown a red card for violent conduct.
Yeah, it's really a shame that Felipe did that. He had a really solid match against St. Louis City. And then, unfortunately made a bad decision. He very easily could have pulled his foot up and got over the top of Chris Durkin's head. Instead, he chose to not do that. And that's a clear violent conduct. And I thought the referee crew handled it really well.
So not, as I saw around socials, like not accident.
No,
these are pros. That's on purpose.
Nothing happens. Nothing at that level happens by accident. Nothing. Zero. And so the players can tell you that, but the reality is that their bodies are in control. They know exactly what they're doing. And if you look, if you want to see why I say it's not an accident, if you look back at the replay, Felipe Mora looks down at Chris Durkin right before he decides not to raise his leg and get over the top of him. So there's a clear intent, and he's just hoping the referee thinks it's an accident. But his head looking down tells you very clearly that it's not an accident.
So how does the referee crew, and I am including VAR in this too, who's probably watching this, I'm sure, make sure that an incident like that, besides giving, of course, the red card, doesn't blow up into something that's already heated. It's already a tense game. People are tired. Players are tired. Fans are rowdy, happy and not happy with some calls. Is the red card enough, or is there other management happening?
Yeah, there's other management happening. So you got to remember that the referees are completely neutral, right? They're not getting excited because a team gets excited about something that happens. A player gets excited about something that happens. Their job is to remain calm and neutral, and they don't have a horse in the race. So you don't, as a referee, you don't get leaned one way or another because the crowd got excited. You know that maybe the play is getting a little bit more tense. You understand that, but you're calm. You know how to handle that at that level. And so, they're very lucky in this case, I guess, because they have VAR. We didn't used to have that when I was in the league. So, that decision happens because you've gone through all this time of understanding what's going on, understanding the cues to look for with the players. And it's very clear. The referee was right in proximity of it happening. And again, they have VAR to confirm it, but I don't believe VAR needed to confirm it. He showed the red card right away.
Okay, let's talk about also that offside, the offside that was called back by VAR. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, so, I thought the referee crew did a really good job. In fact,
I'm trying to actually remember what minute it was, and I think I have it written in a highlight, but it's one of those that was in a game full of highlights. It was quickly forgotten.
Right. I want to say it was like 86 or 87, somewhere in there. It could have been 83, 84. But the only thing that bothered me from the referee crew about that is I don't believe the assistant referee actually raised the flag. So there was voice communication. Lack of the flag going up is a challenge. But in any case, the forward, and I don't remember who the Portland forward was, he was in the line of sight. So he's in an offside position, right? You're not offside just because you're in an offside position. He is in an offside position when the ball is played. So he doesn't ever, he does head the ball in. So he's not only in the line of sight of the goalkeeper, but he interferes with play. So he's actually meeting two of the criteria. You only need to meet one, but he's meeting one criteria of he's interfering with the goalkeeper and the line of sight. He's interfering with play also because he heads the ball, and at that level you pretty much have to touch the ball. If you remember last week or 2 weeks ago, we talked about was it Mallory Swanson or I can't remember the other one, Smith, who ran onto the ball but never touched it and allowed the teammate to continue.
Yeah, left it on purpose. Left it on purpose. Yeah.
So this is exact opposite of that case where he's going to get in trouble for offside even if he ducks because he's in the line of sight of the goalkeeper, but he actually interferes with play by heading the ball.
All right. Thanks, George. More to come. Keep your eyes peeled and tuned into LA Galaxy. I think definitely is going to be an intense game. It's an afternoon game. Dale Schilly already talked about tailgating ahead of time, not us, but fans. Probably going to be a rowdy and a hot one, and one that's on the line for City.
Sounds good. Thanks, Jen.
That is George Gansner, former FIFA and MLS referee with the league. He did a lot of these games, did a lot of these situations. Always good to hear his perspective on the calls. Well, that's hour number one. Hour number one is down, thanks to our guests from Dale Schilly to hearing from Giannis Horn and, of course, George Gansner. On the flip side of the hour, we've got Ross Smith, and then we're going to flip over to the Bronze Boot and talk to the SIUE coaches about that upcoming contest, which is going to be a lot of fun at City Park. Stay tuned with us. More to come right here on the St. Louis City Soccer Report on KMOX.
Jewels on Hampton in St. Louis Hills is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, and fine watches on site. Jewels on Hampton is a premier jeweler with an exquisite selection of diamonds, semi-precious stone jewelry, and vintage watches. Their expert design team can restyle your jewelry to today's contemporary style. They also do jewelry and watch repair. Need extra cash? Jewels on Hampton is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, and fine watches. Bring in your collectibles and clocks, sports memorabilia, and figurines too. Jewels on Hampton, 4506 Hampton, just 3 blocks south of Chippewa. Call them at 314-752-5000. Jewels on Hampton.
When it comes to retirement, you don't need to worry or sweat the small stuff if you have Sachs Financial on your side. Sachs Financial, home of the Retirement Compensation Plan. SACHS, Sachs Financial, because income is the outcome that matters. RetireSafeSTL.com.
Del Walmsley and the Wealth Cycle.
This is the wealth cycle that I've taught for 30 years. Buy one house, 10 houses, an apartment, 2 apartments, 8, 20, 500 units, 1,000 units, 2,000, 5,000 units. And as you keep putting the money and the profits back in, you become one of those rich people, and much quicker than you'd even believe.
Learn Dell's Wealth Cycle at GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. Use promo code 2024. Save 60%. Code 2024. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free. with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit. 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
If you've been hurt on the job, you need the best. Onder Law. Hurt on the job? Call Onder Law today for a free review at 314 or 618-9000000.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR St. Louis.
The home of the Cardinals, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Linda Kenyon, getting ready for the busy holiday travel weekend. CBS's Roxana Saberi is at Newark Liberty Airport in New Jersey.
Here in Newark, it's actually, things are going very smoothly. There have been very few delays and cancellations so far here in Newark. Across the country, the airline rush goes until Wednesday. The FAA expects this Labor Day weekend to be its busiest in history, with more than 52,000 flights taking off just today.
Extreme temperatures are starting to break. Here's CBS's David Parkinson.
In D.C., we're into the 70s on Friday, so that's much better. But in Nashville and in Louisville, it's going to take an extra day before temperatures get out of the oppressive and dangerous heat category.
It is their first sit-down interview for Democratic presidential nominee Kamala Harris and running mate Tim Walz. Harris was asked to respond on CNN to former President Donald Trump's claim that she has flip-flopped on the issues.
The most important and most significant aspect of my policy perspective and decisions is my values do not change.
Harris added she would not change current U.S. policy on arms for Israel, and she would renew a push for border legislation. Former President Trump was campaigning in Wisconsin, where he called Vice President Harris a Marxist.
This election is not a choice between Democrats and Republicans. It's a choice between communism and freedom. That's what it's about.
Several major American publishers are suing the state of Florida over a law that bans books with sexual content from school libraries. CBS legal contributor Jessica Levinson.
Part of this law is, in fact, allowing anyone, including a parent, to walk in and say, I object to this book, at which point the book is pulled off the shelves within 5 days. And there's really an indeterminate amount of time that school officials can say, is there sexual content in this book, or should it be put back on the shelves?
Football season is here, but it's already taken a sad turn for some student athletes. CBS's Carter Evans reports.
It's a high school gathering no one wanted to see. A memorial for 15-year-old Robert Gillen. The Florida teen died from possible cardiac arrest the morning after he complained of chest pain at football practice. He's one of at least 7 teenage football players who've died just this month.
This is one of those things you thought would never happen.
Ryan Craddock's 13-year-old son Cohen was rushed to the hospital in West Virginia after hitting his head during practice last Friday.
Other players have also died of head injuries. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
At 9:03, partly cloudy, 87 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Maria Aquina. Our top story this hour, St. Louis County Police have issued an endangered person advisory for a 26-year-old man who walked away from his residence on Glengarry Road Wednesday afternoon. Latez Mayfield is African-American, 6'2", 160 pounds, wearing a black shirt, black pants, and black shoes, carrying a brown hooded sweatshirt. He has been in St. Louis for only 2 months and has no known contacts. Latez is on the autism spectrum and is usually nonverbal. If you see him, please call 911.
Initial readings gave us some very high explosive limits, so we had a couple more of the solar blow off thereafter.
St. Louis Fire Chief Dennis Jenkerson talking about the tense situation by the Procter & Gamble plant on Grand before the fire department isolated the situation. The Metropolitan Sewer District is right next to P&G.
The MSD plant, they provided engineers. We were able to get a schematic of all the sewer systems in the area. So right now, after we met with MSD and got their correct flow patterns, we're starting to flush the sewers to get whatever been dumped into the sewers out.
Jenkerson says it was a mixture of a flammable type of material and required flushing a 4-block square area. However, fire crews had to be cautious of how they flushed it because of the sewer systems. They run right into MSD's treatment plant. There were no reports of injuries. The back and forth on the St. Louis County Council continues. Chairwoman Shalonda Webb is reestablishing the Ethics Committee to look into Executive Dr. Sam Page volunteering his time as an anesthesiologist at St. Louis University Hospital. Page is not denied volunteering, and according to the Post-Dispatch, money paid to him 9 different times has been given back to the hospital. Shalonda Webb calls the accusation against Page alarming and says, if true, reveals a deeply troubling betrayal of public trust. Dr. Page admitted in an earlier council meeting this month to volunteering at SLU when asked by Councilman Dennis Hancock. Well, Missouri has a new education law that will increase minimum teacher salaries to $40,000 and restrict 4-day school weeks. That plan will expand access and funding to a tax credit program that is designed to allow Missouri students to go to private schools. Manchester Republican Senator Andrew Koenig tells MissouriNet another piece of this bill will fund schools based upon enrollment instead of the daily average of attendance.
What this will do is whether that child shows up to school or not, that school still has to provide a bus, still has to provide a teacher, still has to provide, a desk in the classroom. And so by changing the way we fund schools based on enrollment, that's something that makes sense.
Columbia Democrat Adrian Plank says this law will destroy his area because traditional schools will lose money and be forced to ask residents for a tax increase. The heat advisory has been extended until 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. For tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 75 degrees. Scattered storms tomorrow, humid 92. Tomorrow night, rain and storms are likely. Some of those could become severe to strong at times with a low of 73 degrees. Then Saturday, dropping humidity, rain and storms in the morning. Mainly St. Louis to points south. We'll see a high of 82 degrees and then overnight lows of 65. Right now in St. Peter's, it's 84, 87 in Florissant, and downtown at the Arch, it's 87. I'm Maria Aquina, KMOX News.
The Y98 St. Louis City Soccer Report continues on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
Hour number 2 of the St. Louis City Soccer Report. Jen Siess here. Nate Gatter on hiatus, calling a little bit of football. That would be American football for Westwood Sports. We look forward to having Nate back soon. Jonathan Camp on the controls. Joined now by, I'll tell you, one of my favorite Apple MLS Season Pass broadcasters, Ross Smith, coming to St. Louis for the game with LA Galaxy. Ross, rumor has it that you already talked to Matt Pauley on Sports Open Line. You cheated on me. You cheated. You totally cheated.
I mean, Matt asked me to hang out first, and so I jumped on it. It was my first request.
Okay, here's what you do. Next time it has to be, is there a soccer report that night? Because otherwise I'm doing that. So, and Matt can stay on baseball. He can stay on hockey and football. I texted him and said, mitts off my guests, man.
I love the coverage. That's the most amazing thing. And I've never chatted to Matt before. He was great. He was great, of course. He's just got so many soccer heads there, Jen. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's funny. It's always fun to talk with Matt about soccer because he is the first person to say, listen, I'm not a soccer guy. I didn't grow up a soccer guy. But guess what he did? He signed up his kindergarten girl for soccer. So the world of soccer is sucking him in.
It's great. I feel, the market that you're in, it is that, right? And if you haven't been in it, you're in it now. And I got that sense, like, Matt, it was great. Like the questions and everything. Anybody you chat to in St. Louis, you feel like it's in them. It's in them, and they want to talk about it, which is amazing.
Oh, yeah. St. Louis loves to talk our soccer. In fact, when you and I get done here, we're going to switch over to a competition. I can tell you all about it when you come to St. Louis, called the Bronze Boot, where we have a couple of local colleges that compete for a trophy, but mostly for bragging rights. So, yeah, we love to talk our soccer and love the fact that you and Tony Husband are coming back to the Lou to call another game, but you're coming on a Sunday. You live in Nashville. You're not foreign to the humidity and the heat. I think we might get a hot one, Ross.
Yeah, we've been closely watching it. And Tony, with his British background, and me with some British blood in me for the heat, we don't do well. So selfishly, we're looking at it for us. But, most importantly, of course, the supporters in the stands and the atmosphere it creates when it's not as hot, but the players on the pitch, you want energy. So hopefully it's not too bad. I think, Tony, the last weather report I got from him was it might dip down a little bit. There might be storms in the next day or so. So I'm hoping it'll cool off.
Me too. As I'll be in the booth right next to you in whatever we get for the heat. I don't think though that's going to deter St. Louis City soccer fans from coming. It's been a little bit of a break. There are supporters groups were very strong in their protest of not competing in Open Cup. City Park was a little bit more vacant than we were used to, and Dale Schilly and I know we've talked to Dale before. We're talking a little bit about how for some of the new players, for Henry Kessler, for Giannis Horn, who I had earlier on in the show talking a little bit, for several of the others, this is going to be their first really go at City Park with what should be a fully packed City Park stadium.
And how motivating is that, for players? And that's what's interesting, Jen, is the turnover since, coming in last year. And I know you would have chatted about it at length with with others, but the new faces, the new identity, but the new rapport, and that's huge. And for me, before I jumped into this seat, being with Apple, I was with the Portland Timbers, and the most difficult thing that the Timbers found was changing over a team, but keeping that relationship between the players and the supporters. And Portland, then during that time, had to turn it over a couple of times.
Yeah.
It's surprising that you're already turning that over now in your second year after what was a wonderful season last year. So I find that so intriguing because there is, and I relate it to, the feeling I have with St. Louis in terms of that connection, what I've seen and being on the grounds with the supporters and the players to what happened in Portland. And that's so important. It's so important in all markets. But certainly in the market that you have there, and those personalities, they have to mesh with the fans as well. I feel like for the success of the club to continue on, for the success of a player, the player needs to feel that bond as well. The fans need to feel the bond from the player that they're happy to be in the market.
Yeah, there's no doubt that this year, City year number 2 was likely meant to be had in year number 1 for an expansion club. But City had a remarkable, crazy fantasy first season that I wouldn't trade for anything in the world, but are going through, I wouldn't even just call them growing pains. I would call them a kind of a combination of being still new, still expansion team, and changed coaches. A lot of key players that were coming into their own got hurt, hurt for more than this season. They're not going to be back till the next part of next season. And then a bunch of new faces in during the transfer window. It does in many ways feel in some ways like a brand new team again.
Yeah. And the way that things are evolving in style of play as well, that it's not all, and you and I were chatted at length with Bradley Carnell, who was so open with us, and it was great, but it's a different look at a style that's similar, but a twist to it. And so, you're implementing a slightly new style. And so it's quite remarkable just how much has changed after what was, you would say, the hallmark for every club coming into the league. You would say, do it the way St. Louis did it. But then into the second year, it's as though it said, well, let's shift away from that a little bit into something else and evolving, essentially is what it's coming down to. But it's quite remarkable. It really is. And has the league ever seen, usually to your point, usually it's the second year. You think of Inter Miami and how many years it took them to figure out identity. It took them to figure out, just what they were about. Well, you guys figured it out in year 1, but now you're changing it a bit into year 2. Has that ever happened with an expansion club ever before, that you figure things out right away and you changed it year 2? It's incredible storylines.
Yeah, and doing Coach Hackworth has a lot of strong ties to soccer, a lot of strong ties to St. Louis City soccer. Chris Durkin has been coached by him on a youth international team. He's coached some of these players who he is currently coaching now. But I noticed that it's not that he's talked about it. Lutz Pfannenstiel has talked about the fact that they don't want to get away from the pressing style. But the way Coach Carnell ran it, in my opinion, watching it, was very much, using his own words, chaotic, frenzied. You're jumping the ball when you've kind of created some chaos, whether it's off the set piece or in the run of play, and you score from that. John Hackworth seems like it's not that we're not pressing, but it's with more intention. It's with more deliberation, and there will be times to back off the press. Curious as your thoughts about that.
Yeah, I think, a couple of things with that. First and foremost, to evolve it, do you have the players? And do you have the players to be able to, get to whatever that is, that next step? And I look at it with Bradley Carnell, and at the start of the season when we were chatting with him, and he was saying, we want to be better on the ball. We want to, open up teams in different ways. And, can you do it? And I find similarities throughout the league where I've heard that from managers. And you already said it, Jen. Like I'm based in Nashville, so I'll obviously follow all the teams, but there's certain teams that you really dig into when you get them a lot on your schedule. And for Nashville, Gary Smith was saying the same thing. The brand of Nashville soccer, they wanted to play higher up the pitch and be able to play in the front half and sustain attacks more. Sounds great, but did they have the players? And Gary Smith is no longer. He's been fired, and they've brought in a new manager, BJ Callahan. But they've also brought in a couple new players. And so now they're starting to play that way. And so, you kind of look at it and say, right, it was great to say all those things, but, the old manager didn't have the chance with the new players to play that new style. And I feel, some similarities that the new signings that have come in with St. Louis have been great signings. I think Simon Betcher, the way he played at Vancouver and alongside Brian White at times, and it just, happens that Brian is a terrific striker in himself, and that Simon, he played alongside him a couple of games, but couldn't really take that spot, in the system that they played. But when St. Louis took in Simon, I thought, what a signing. For me, Jen, I don't know what you think from seeing him, and he's already scored a few goals, but, I think he's a 15 to 20 goal guy a season if he has the players around him. And then it gets back to it, like with John, I've heard nothing but great praise about John for years. And I'm going to meet him for the first time in person this weekend, but I've heard so many great things about him. And so it goes back to those couple of things. Do you have the players, and do you have the manager that is willing to develop that new style? And maybe Bradley Carnell would argue that he didn't have that time with the new players, but John Hackworth has a history of developing players. He's got a great manager in place right now. So it's interesting just to see where it goes, and that next step for St. Louis.
All right, last question. Other than it potentially being a hot day, what is St. Louis City in for with LA Galaxy, top of the Western Conference? It's not like we're facing off a team that's lower in the conference, but also St. Louis City is a different team.
They are a different team, and LA Galaxy, it's a big boost for St. Louis. The fact that Ricky Pooch, the center midfielder for LA Galaxy, is not available. He's suspended, yellow card accumulation. He, for me, Jen, on his day, top 3 players in the league. Out of midfield, the way he gets on the ball, he runs the show. But he's unavailable. So that's a huge boost through the midfield for St. Louis, not to have to worry about him. But you have Joseph Paintsill, who is a winger that
he's
LA
pretty
Galaxy
good.
brought in.
He's pretty good.
He's pretty good. He's quick. He's clean on the ball as well. He might play striker. He might play on the wing. Gabriel Peck is another player that they spent millions on to bring in. You've got Marco Reus, who's just come in, who played across it in Germany. So you've got Reus, who's a massive star that has just came on as in an appearance in their last match against Atlanta, had an assist, scored a goal. And so, for all that, you've got stars still coming in, even though Ricky Pooch won't be available. You've got a lot in there. So another big thing, Jovalic, their striker, he's been coming back from injury. Doesn't sound like he'll start. So that's a big plus. So you've got 2 players for the Galaxy who won't start, who are big impact players. But at the same time, the other 3 players I mentioned, I mean, if they were just themselves on the team, they'd be a big time worry. The fact that there's 3 of them is a problem.
No easy task for City, for sure. Looking forward to seeing you on Sunday, my friend.
You too. You as well, Jen. Thanks for having me on.
You got it. Safe travels. That was Ross Smith, Apple analyst for MLS Season Pass. one of my favorite crews, him and Tony Husband. They do a great job. Going to be here at City Park for the call against LA Galaxy. More to come. We're going to shift gears. We're going to flip over to college soccer, specifically bronze boot college soccer, talking with the SIUE side of the bronze boot battle. That and this and Derek Burton coming up next on KMOX.
For everything online, it's Odyssey.com. Download the Odyssey app and listen to KMOX for all the news, sports, talk, and podcasts that move you. Odyssey, that's AUDACY.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like everyone else has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
You can host the best backyard barbecue when you find a professional on Angie to make your backyard the best around. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
1-800-GOT-JUNK is your friend with the truck.
We make junk disappear.
All you have to do is point.
All our people are in uniforms.
And our trucks are clean and shiny.
And big.
We leave spaces empty and clean.
For you.
1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
The cookie cutter approach works well if you're making cookies, but not so well when you're trying to plan for retirement. If you want a customized income strategy, call Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group today. 636-230-8824 or go to yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
When you ask people here, what's the one thing that makes Diamonds Direct their favorite jeweler? For some, it's the unbeatable pricing we get through our direct importer. No middleman connections. The foundation of our business since day one. For others, it's the uncompromising quality. From hand-selected diamonds to handcrafted designer rings. Only the best of the best. Some people put selection at the top of their list, as Diamonds Direct offers up to 30 times the options you expect from a typical jewelry retailer. For some, it's our luxurious showroom with diamond experts who genuinely care about your experience and happiness, and who are empowered to do whatever it takes for you. Others rave about Diamonds Direct's unmatched warranties and guarantees that include free service for life and an extraordinary 110% diamond upgrade promise. But you know the most often answer we get when asking what makes Diamonds Direct stand out? It's not one thing. It's everything. Diamonds Direct. Value, luxury, choices, and confidence. Get directions, hours, and more at diamondsdirect.com.
Charlie Brennan with Dr. Colleen Bosler from the Audiology Center. What can people expect when they visit one of your doctors at the Audiology Center?
Expect a friendly greeting and a waiting room stocked full of refreshments. But more importantly, a patient should expect that they're treated on an individual basis. We are not retail, and we pride ourselves on our medical model. Each hearing aid is catered towards each patient's unique needs. Expect a full history intake where we get to know you and your personal needs, and then we'll complete a full battery of tests where we can adequately diagnose your hearing health. We want you to understand those results right away. So directly following your tests, we're going to go over everything extensively. Finally, at that time, we'll develop a customized treatment plan built around you as an individual.
The Audiology Center, 3 locations in the St. Louis area, 636-441-7470, the Audiology Center, STL.com.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Call 314-334-2522 to schedule your free in-home estimate today. And for every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free plus 0% financing for 60 months. For the last windows you'll ever need, go to UWD.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
The Y98 St. Louis City Soccer Report continues on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
Jennifer Siess, not quite halfway through, a third of the way through hour number 2 of the St. Louis City Soccer Report. Flipping gears now, we're going to change over. We've talked a ton of St. Louis City. We talked a ton of MLS. Flipping over now to the college side of the game, local college side, and the SIUE side of the upcoming Bronze Boot that will be held at City Park, just like it was last year. Joining us now, Derek Burton, head coach of the SIUE Women Cougars. Derek, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Hey, I appreciate the St. Paul Blacktop soccer connection, as I always talk about.
Absolutely.
You know,
100%.
that soccer is a big game, but it's a small game. And we started first on the Blacktop of St. Paul.
We did, indeed.
We did. So I wanted to take, before we talk about, of course, the Bronze Boot, let's take a look overall at the season, what your expectations are, looking at what I could find online of the 2023 season, team 5, 6, and 6. If I remember correctly, in the Bronze Boot game against the SLU Billikens, struck first with a goal. When you look at your incoming season and your group that you've recruited, what kind of changes do you see from last year coming into this year for 2024?
I think the big focus for us was really in the off season and just taking the proper steps in terms of our individual and overall development. Really, we have a good number of upperclassmen who have done really, really well. They have multiple conference championships under their belt, so they have that postseason and that in conference battle experience. And so we really wanted to bring some of our younger players along and develop in the off season. I think we had a really good spring. So really it's about taking that next step. You referenced our record last fall, the 6 ties.
Yeah.
We were walking off the field too many times saying, how did we tie that game?
Mhm.
Because we felt like we played well enough to win. But the end product just wasn't quite there. I think we made some really good positive strides in the spring, and we're starting to see that come through in the early part of this season.
It's I had to record the interview that I'll play after you with Cale Wasserman, because he's currently on a pitch right now with the men. But he talked a bit about, and I think his quote was said that, we as coaches can regurgitate the same information over and over, but he really believed that it's those upperclassmen, whether they're seniors or juniors, but those who have kind of been through it, that really are the ones to take the lead in the locker room and on the pitch to make changes for the team. Are you finding that to be the same?
Absolutely. We have, like I said, a bunch of upperclassmen, particularly our seniors and our fifth-year players who have 2 and 3 conference championships that are really motivated. We got knocked out in the conference tournament last year in a heartbreaking fashion, and that never sits well. So to your point, it's not, 100% change of philosophy or anything radical. It's just taking the proper steps to do the things that are necessary, detail wise, positionally, mentality wise, to take the next steps to get us back to where we want to be and where we ultimately believe we can be. And yes, for sure, our upperclassmen are doing a really good job of echoing what's being coached, but then also just reinvigorating and kind of renewing the spirit that we know that has been super beneficial and impactful for us in our championship seasons, and really bringing that back to life and taking it upon themselves as leaders, as 4th and 5th year seniors, to really lead by example on and off the field, for sure.
And I know the season's just getting started, but I like to throw around the fact that undefeated so far, 2 ties and a win, a pretty resounding win, 6-1 over Chicago State, 0-0 with Missouri State, 1-1 with Omaha. It seems like the season, at least so far, again, it's early, but it's trending in the right direction.
Yeah, I've been happy with each game, and even going back to our 2 preseason games, we've continued to add to kind of our next level. And we've tried to make it goals for each game, to add another layer to what we accomplished in the last game in terms of what we worked on and focused on in training, and to see that applied on the field in a game situation. That's really been our goal in the early part of the season. And so I've definitely been happy with what we've seen added to each game, and to each game situation.
I've always wanted to ask, and I don't think I ever did ask any of the college coaches this year so far, but you have a style, right? You're a coach. You've played a certain way. You probably like to see the game played a certain way. Yet, depending on who's outgoing from who's playing with you and who your incoming classes are, do you ever find that you need to adjust the style of play, or are you just recruiting those who fit?
Absolutely, we have to adjust the style of play. We've definitely, over the last couple seasons, adjusted. To your point, more so, you have to suit the way you play to the players, and you have to make those kind of adjustments. So definitely, we are in that kind of. Last year was a bit of a transition in terms of style, and I think this year, you're seeing what we're seeing on the field is continuing to add to that. Like I said, going back to the spring as well, really adding more based on what our players' capabilities and our strengths are, for sure. And like you said, that changes not necessarily year to year, but every couple of years. When you lose a big group or an influential group that had impactful minutes, and we've definitely done that for sure.
So your next game will be at Purdue on September 1st, and then come back to St. Louis City Park for the Bronze Boot. For the as long as it's a story of old time, right? It's been around forever. Typically on the men's side, we know that the men's game of soccer is far more developed than the women's game, although the women's game is quickly closing that gap. The SIUE Cougars last year, am I right? You guys scored first, correct? Bronze Boot.
We did score first, yeah, on a free kick.
Yes. Okay, I remember
15
that.
minutes in. Yep.
Yeah. So definitely capable of competing with the SLU Billikens. No doubt that Katie Shields runs a tight program, does a really good job there. What do you look at to not only, we'll talk about the City Park experience, but when it comes to getting what you need to from this game, how do you set the Cougars up to face the Billikens?
Well, we'll do everything that we normally do preparing for a game. And thankfully, City and City Park and all of their administration have been super to work with. So they allow us to come over the day before, walk through the locker room, walk through the facility, get on the field, with the idea of taking a little bit of the
awe,
the wow factor. Yeah, the awe out. So maybe we have a chance to play the game more than be wrapped up in the occasion, although the occasion is fantastic. So we try to find that balance to where we want all of our players to enjoy it, but not be overwhelmed by it. So that's a little bit different. But in terms of how we prepare for the game, we'll do it the same way. We'll watch and break down their video. We'll watch our previous games to see what we need to work on early in the week. And then as the week and the game gets closer, prepare specifically for them and what their strengths, where we think we can exploit their tendencies, all of that, in the same way that we would any other opponent. So it just so happens, they happen to be a really good side. Like you said, Katie's done a great job. So it's a great opponent in a great occasion, and everyone is super, super excited about it. But like you said, we have a game this Sunday, and so we're trying to just maintain our focus on that right now, and see if we can get another good result and carry that into next week.
And, I know it's not as old, but does the rivalry feel real between SIUE? I mean, and SLU, I know many times we in St. Louis will think of Illinois as far away, but it's not. The stadiums are only like 23 miles apart. That's not far. Are we rivals on the women's side now?
Yeah, I mean, I think we always have been, to the point of, we're recruiting in the same areas, a lot of the same players.
Yeah.
They've had success. We've had success. The bottom line, though, is in order for it to be a real good rivalry, we have to continue to grow into our competitive nature and into the competition when we play them. And we need to get results to make it, legitimate. At this point, it's really good competition for both teams, and I think some of the familiarity is what makes it a natural rivalry. I mean, we have a handful of players on both teams that grew up playing with each other, against each other. Some played high school together, but played on different clubs. Some played on the same club team, but played in different high schools. So there's a lot of familiarity there. And it's just a great occasion. And if you want to call it a rivalry, yeah, I definitely think it is. I mean, we've played for as long as I can remember. There's only a couple of years in my 16 years here that I think that we didn't play. But like I said, we're looking to kind of build off last year and take a page from the men's book and end a streak where we haven't gotten a result in a while.
Yeah, and I'll keep tooting the horn that it also needs to come with bling for the women's side. So whatever we come up with, I'm all for it.
I agree. I'll let you can head that up and I'll get right behind you.
You got it. Derek Burton, thanks so much for your time. Best of luck in your next game. Look forward to seeing you at the Bronze Boot.
Thanks so much.
You got it. Derek Burton, SIUE women's head coach, the Cougars. They'll be taking on Purdue coming up, and then we'll see them at City Park for the Bronze Boot against the Billikens. More to come. We got to hear from the men's side. Cale Wasserman, he's currently in a game. I talked with him a little bit earlier. We'll hear that next on KMOX.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit consumercellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by September 2nd, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery on select smart beds when you add any base. Ends Labor Day. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
Innsbruck, just the beautiful homes at Innsbruck. The new Sonnenhaus houses are available this year. The newest style of living, combining the modern exterior of a treehouse with cozy interior elements of a cottage into one convenient and comfortable residence that can transition from a vacation home to a permanent residence. And it's so close to St. Louis, just a half hour from Chesterfield, an hour from downtown. Innsbruck-resort.com.
Supporting your nutrition should be easy. That's why we created the Neovitin Women's Multivitamin monthly subscription. Get your daily Neovitin Women's Multivitamin delivered directly to your door every month. You can pause or cancel your subscription at any time with no long-term obligations. With B vitamins to support energy, vitamin D for bone support, and our physician-formulated proprietary blend, Neovitin Women's Multivitamin is here to support your nutrition every day. Start supporting your nutrition and sign up for a monthly Neovitin Women's Multivitamin subscription today at neovitin.com.
Your air conditioning system has been getting a real workout this summer. If it needs a little help, you can count on Comfort Solutions Heating and Cooling. Comfort Solutions Heating and Cooling at 314-968-9900 with 24-hour service nights and weekends for any emergencies and repairs. They do give free estimates as well if you need a whole new system. Right now, they're offering no interest for 5 years on new Lennox air conditioners, and that comes with a 10-year parts and condenser warranty. 314-968-9900 or online at comfortsolutionsstl.com.
This is Chad Clayman with ClaymanGroup.com, KLAMEN Group.com, where we buy property as is. Do you have a property that is vacant? Maybe it's been sitting empty for years. Maybe it's been sitting empty for a month. Well, we're interested in buying vacant properties. If you have a property sitting vacant, you're at risk of damage. You're paying insurance. You're paying taxes while it is not being utilized. We are interested in making you an as-is cash offer, and we can close on your timeline. Please reach out, KLAMEN Group.com.
Life can throw curveballs our way, just like the sudden car accident that put me in a coma 30 years ago, long before I became the Cardinal Cowboy. And just like recovering from bumps in the road, we all need reliable help when things go wrong. At Renner Garage, they understand unexpected setbacks. Whether it's a repair, a new door, or a LiftMaster opener, Renner has the team of trusted experts who know how to lift you up and get you back on track. You know the name, RENNER, forward and back. RennerDoorSTL.com. Giddy up.
Drag racers, modern day gladiators, pitting themselves against 300 pounds of grinding steel, battling each other in the power of 11,000 horses that run hot, risking it all for the thrill of the championship. Join us September 27th through 29th for the NHRA Midwest Nationals at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Join us for a weekend of action. Kids 12 and under get in free and general admission. Brought to you in part by the Illinois Office of Tourism and Discover Downstate Illinois.
Broadcasting from the underlying Three Lawyers. GetJim.com studios.
KMOX.
The Y98 St. Louis City Soccer Report continues on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
Jen Siess back here with you on the Soccer Report on KMOX. Time now to hear from Cale Wasserman. He is the SIUE Cougars men's head coach. They are currently in their game right now in the second half, about the 66th minute. Ohio State is up 2-0. Recorded with Cale earlier in the day to talk a little bit about his season and the upcoming Bronze Boot.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Hopefully when this airs, there's good news and we're winning the game, or the game has ended with a big win on the road. But certainly it's a big test tonight at Ohio State, and also looking forward ahead to the Bronze Boot in about a week and a half.
So this game that you're playing tonight is one of two in the Wolstein Classic. Can you tell me a little bit about this mini competition that comes at the beginning of your season?
Yeah, this year we really wanted to test ourselves in the non-conference. Last week we opened up with Michigan State at home. So, the Big Ten being one of the most prominent soccer conferences in the country, it's good to get started with Michigan State. And then now we have Ohio State tonight. This little mini tournament, this is something Ohio State has hosted for quite a while now, where they bring in three teams, being us, UNLV, and Dayton. And everybody will play two games. So we will play Ohio State tonight, and UNLV will play Dayton. And then we kind of flip opponents. We'll play Dayton on Sunday. And so basically there is a winner of the tournament. So the goal is getting two good results, 2 wins on the road, and testing ourselves in a pretty hostile environment. I know they've been marketing this event here in Columbus.
Yes, they have. I was looking at it online.
Triple header tonight with the women, and then UNLV Dayton, and then capped off with us in Ohio State. So should be a great crowd. NCAA tournament type feel against the top 20 ranked team in Ohio State tonight, and then a very, very talented undefeated Dayton team as of this interview, because they won the first weekend as well. So that should be a great test for us.
And what a great season your SIUE Cougars had last year. Overall record 16-1-3, Ohio Valley Conference champions, lost only 2-1 to Memphis in the NCAA tournament. 2 questions. So how did you feel overall about the season, how it went, and what kind of perspective then does that give you for your 2024 season?
The only word I could describe last year, especially the regular season and conference tournament, is almost magical. I've been a part of a lot of teams that are talented. I've been a part of 3 different trips to the NCAA Final Four. I've coached in a national final, and I've never been a part of a team that went the whole regular season and conference tournament unbeaten. And so even with as much talent as we had, as much leadership, as well-oiled of a machine as I thought we were, all it takes in soccer is one bad bounce or a penalty or a set piece, and that can change the game. And so for us to go that long and remain unbeaten, especially in the fashion we did it, there was a couple games where we scored in the last 5 minutes of the game to either tie it up or find a winning goal. All the stars were in alignment, and certainly there was a few years leading up to that. A lot of those players, especially our seniors in that group, had helped build that momentum and had a lot of experience dealing with some ups and downs to get us to that point. But certainly it was magical and a great experience in the NCAA tournament. Obviously a little bit of a bittersweet ending. I had a player sent off with a red card, unfortunately, kind of misplaying a ball outside of the box. Our goalkeeper, who had an unbelievable year, Sam Gomez, he was the goalkeeper of the year. He's now a professional with City 2. We had to play the game without him and play down a man for about 30 minutes against Memphis. So I think you look back at that game and say, if we could have kept 11 guys on the field, maybe it ends a different story. But if nothing else, it laid a wonderful foundation for our group this year and helped raise the bar and kind of strongly stamp our expectations of this year that we want to be a top 25 team making a deeper run in the NCAA tournament, and so much quality around the country, in our conference, out of conference. This year will certainly test us, but our goal is to put ourselves in a position to get back there where we were last year and go farther.
Besides the bronze boot, which we'll get to, who are the biggest opponents? Every game is an important game, right? But who are the biggest opponents for the Cougars this season?
Yeah, I mean, the easiest answer is always the next opponent, right? So as I do this interview, our biggest opponent is Ohio State. And, once that game tips over, our focus will be on Dayton. But certainly we have some really standout games that as people look at the schedule, I think we'll certainly have their eyes on. But these first three are massive. We'll also play SLU coming up, Nebraska, Omaha, Bradley. So some really tough contests. And then I think capping that off, we have a rematch with Memphis. So we're returning a game where they came to us in a previous year. So we'll have a rematch of that NCAA tournament game against a very tough Memphis Tigers team, very well coached. So there's definitely some marquee non-conference matches. And then year two in the OVC is going to have its challenges in itself. We'll have a little bit of a target on our back. And I think everyone in that conference was very challenging last year, a lot of close games. And I think everyone will be a little bit more prepared for what's to come. The first year is always a little bit of an unknown. You're figuring out the facilities, the opponents, the playing style, where I think everyone's going to be ready to go this year. And it's going to be a really good challenge.
So the bronze boot, obviously a big one. It's an old competition, right? It's for a trophy, but I think probably most importantly, it's for bragging rights. SIUE versus SLU. The schools might be across the river from each other in two different states, but they're really only approximately 23 miles apart. Many players from SIUE and SLU played in youth competition. What does the competition mean nowadays to these players?
I mean, certainly the addition to be playing in a venue like City Park has put a lot of eyes on the, I would call, reborn rivalry, because there was a period of time where both teams were not playing with each other. But if you look back at the history, I mean, there's just so much history between these two programs. Both programs have won multiple national championships, a ton of conference championships, developed a ton of pro players, but also just the connection between a couple of the individuals. I mean, massive respect to St. Louis University head coach, Coach Kalish. Kevin was an assistant and the head coach here at SIUE. Kevin Stahl, their assistant coach, played here at SIUE. Bob Gelker, who won national championships as the head coach for both programs, started the program here. Pat McBride, who played at SLU, was his assistant coach here. So there's so many connections between the programs. And like you said, even a lot of our current players and their current players have grown up playing with or against each other. It's a big nationally recognized rivalry the past few years since I've been here, but certainly last year being in the stadium. I mean, I had coaches from New York, California, Florida, and everywhere in between sending me text messages that they watched the game. And so I think a lot of eyes are on that rivalry, but also what a cool event for the community, both their side of the river and our side, to have such a big game, two quality opponents, such a beautiful stadium. Big shout out and a thank you to St. Louis City, who's been such a welcomed addition as the MLS franchise in town, and they've been great hosts. So we're excited to get back and want to have a great performance. And obviously the goal is to get the win, but certainly we relish the opportunity to get back out there again and play SLU for a trophy.
And you did get the win last year. I think it was an upset for sure. If I got my numbers right, hadn't happened since 1982. Long time coming for SIUE.
Yeah, certainly by the numbers, SLU tips the scales in a big favor. And, there was a long gap in wins here for SIUE. There was also, a little context. There was a long period where the game wasn't played, but certainly in the last 5 years when it had been played, there was a few ties. And then SLU had won a couple of the games, including my first year here, where they beat us with 6 seconds left in double overtime. It was a really hard fought match. And that was one that stuck with me. The timing of it was my first year. It was such a meaningful game. It was at our place. So, these games have been back and forth, and SLU's made some deep runs in the NCAA tournament in my time here. And I think as good as they've been, we've given them a good fight every year. And last year was great to perform well, execute, get 2 goals, kept a clean sheet. And all in all, I think it was a great game for the neutral fans as well. But certainly if you're rooting for SLU or you're our fans on the Cougar side, I think there's a little more emotion behind it when you're watching. And hopefully it's another great show for the fans out there.
And playing a team right now, SLU being currently ranked at number 6, a little bit more edge maybe to the game. How do you prep your players to, 1, be in a place like City Park, which as we know is amazing, 2, possibly a different or more diverse or maybe even more fan base that could be there for both the women's and the men's games, and 3, you're prepping to maybe put yourselves in a really good position by taking over a team that's really ranked high right now.
There's a lot of conversations around the country that have to do with rankings, whether it's recruits or media people. There's these weekly releases. And honestly, from day one of preseason, we've really talked, and this is I would say a theme of mine across the board. I've been a part of teams that have been ranked and played ranked teams over the last 15 years and try not to think about them. I mean, I know it's a little harder for maybe a young player who's 18, 19 years old, but we have a pretty mature group. We've been there before. Like I said, Ohio State's nationally ranked tonight. We were nationally ranked in a poll going into the season and after the first week. So SLU's going to be quality, and it's going to be a tough game whether they're ranked or not. Is it a bonus if we get a result against a ranked team? I would say in some ways, yes. But regardless of the rankings in the local rivalry, and you see this across all sports, rankings really go out the window. Both teams are going to be battling. Both teams are going to have a lot of quality and emotion, talent, depth. So it was great to see them have a result like beating Indiana, because certainly that strengthens our schedule and our hopes to put ourselves in a position to make the NCAA tournament. But at the end of the day, rankings go out the window when the first whistle blows, and everyone's going to be trying to get a result regardless of that.
Thanks to Cale Wasserman for talking with me a little bit earlier today ahead of their match with Ohio State. Unfortunately, the Cougars are losing at this point in time in the tournament 4-0 to Ohio State. Hopefully they will bounce back from that and be ready to play at City Park against SLU. He did note that half the team of last year's match actually played, so they'll be coming in with some experience to play the Billikens, including some City 2 players, Carson Gibbs, Riley Gibbs, Brian Franco played there. And he noted that upperclassmen leadership will really be for the Cougars the thing that moves the needle this year. More to come. We'll wrap it up on the St. Louis City Soccer Report on the other side. Talk a little bit about what we had, what's coming up next on KMOX.
I'm Brian Westbrook with Coalition Life. While we celebrate the reversal of Roe versus Wade, there is still much work to be done to support life and pregnant women before they cross state lines. Together, we can provide the love, support, and options that women need to choose life for their children. Coalition Life celebrates more than 3,500 clients served and thousands of lives saved since we began this mission with you. Each one is a miracle. Over the years, day in and day out, our team has walked alongside women facing the fear and challenges of an unexpected pregnancy. Through the support of this community, we have given them hope and a path to choose life for the children they carry. Visit coalitionlife.com to give your vital support while reducing or completely eliminating your state taxes through Missouri's 70% tax credit. Learn more at coalitionlife.com, coalitionlife.com.
Saturdays are made for soccer and City SC on Y98. Whether you're running around town watching your kids from the sidelines or making the time to give blood and save lives by making your appointment at Impact Life, your community blood center. Make your appointment today at bloodcenter.org/soccer. And remember, you can always catch the City SC game anywhere on the Odyssey app and on Y98, your home for St. Louis City Soccer.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
You entrusted a nursing home with the care of a loved one, but they violated that trust. If your family member has been the victim of nursing home neglect, call Onder Law at 844-BED-SORE.
When you ask people here what's the one thing that makes Diamonds Direct their favorite jeweler, for some, it's the unbeatable pricing we get through our direct importer. No middleman connections. The foundation of our business since day one. For others, it's the uncompromising quality. From hand-selected diamonds to handcrafted designer rings. Only the best of the best. Some people put selection at the top of their list, as Diamonds Direct offers up to 30 times the options you expect from a typical jewelry retailer. For some, it's our luxurious showroom with diamond experts who genuinely care about your experience and happiness, and who are empowered to do whatever it takes for you. Others rave about Diamonds Direct's unmatched warranties and guarantees that include free service for life and an extraordinary 110% diamond upgrade promise. But you know the most often answer we get when asking what makes Diamonds Direct stand out? It's not one thing, it's everything. Diamonds Direct. Value, luxury, choices, and confidence. Get directions, hours, and more at diamondsdirect.com.
Are you tired of those unwanted, stubborn areas of fat? Do you want to lose up to 2 inches of that fat quickly and safely? Hi, this is Dr. Michael Glickert at St. Louis Weight Loss Secret, and we offer the latest breakthrough treatment in fat reduction without surgery through our incredible Lumara body contouring program that gently melts fat naturally, eliminating it from your body. If you want to lose inches on your thighs, arms, waist, stomach, or back, take advantage of our limited time offer of just $69 for your first treatment, which is valued at $300. You heard that right. Just $69 for your first treatment. Visit us online at moweightloss.com.
Hey, this is Debbie Monterey, and I admit I was skeptical about body contouring at St. Louis Weight Loss Secret, but I figured, what do I have to lose except apparently inches, because they already helped me lose 40 pounds. And then they took before and after pictures while I was doing body contouring. I did 8 treatments and you could totally see the difference. So take advantage of this limited time offer, just $69 for your first body contouring treatment, regularly $300, by calling 314-207-8600 or online at moweightloss.com.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Oops. Ever had your singing lessons cut short by icy water?
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
Say goodbye to those cold notes with Navien tankless water heaters. With Navien, you'll hit all the right notes without the surprise chill. So keep singing and let Navien keep the hot water flowing. And get ready for the encore when you get your utility bill.
La 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 la.
Navien tankless water heaters. Visit tanklessmadesimple.com.
The Y98 St. Louis City Soccer Report continues on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
Wrapping up the soccer report on KMOX. Jen Siess here with you. First, big thanks to all of our guests, Dale Schilly, Giannis Horn, George Gansner. On the second hour, Ross Smith, to talk a little bit all about St. Louis City. And then on the SIUE side of the Bronze Boot, Derek Burton with the women's SIUE Cougars and Cale Wasserman with the men. City game this Sunday, September 1st. It's a 1:45 p.m. start as City takes on the LA Galaxy. Joey Zanaboni, Dale Schilly, and myself will be in what is, I hope, not a too hot booth at City Park. Pregame at 1:15 on our sister station, Y98. By the way, on TV, that game is free on Apple TV and will also be broadcast on Fox. More in soccer after St. Louis City's game, the Bronze Boot on Sunday, September 8th at City Park. The women at 3:30, the men at 6:30. Tickets are on sale at SeatGeek. It's only $20 a person or $10 for a group of 10 or more. Definitely worth the experience. Not an expensive way to enjoy soccer at City Park. And our next show, the St. Louis City Soccer Showcase, actually. It won't be the soccer report, but the soccer showcase, where we're out at Hot Shots. This one will be at Fenton with Thomas Totlin on Thursday, September 12th. That will be our next show, and it will be on remote. It's always a great time, a great way to hear about soccer and spend time with City players. If you missed anything, always catch it on the Odyssey app. Thanks to Jonathan Camp with me here in studio. You've been listening to the St. Louis City Soccer Report on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
Jewels on Hampton in St. Louis Hills is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, and fine watches on site. Jewels on Hampton is a premier jeweler with an exquisite selection of diamonds, semi-precious stone jewelry, and vintage watches. Their expert design team can restyle your jewelry to today's contemporary style. They also do jewelry and watch repair. Need extra cash? Jewels on Hampton is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, and fine watches. Bring your collectibles and clocks, sports memorabilia, and figurines to